The topic of anticipating emerging markets will be a little longer than usual because, by analogy, we'll use the story of life, where in chapter 1 we have just continuously evolving change, but chapter 2 brings man into the world and change exponentially accelerates. But what we're seeing now is non-human intelligence, which is just snowballing change. Futurist Ray Kurzweil suggests that by the 2030s, the that's non-biological portion of our intelligence will predominate. So change opens new markets, but how do you predict that? I love Yogi Berra's take on it. It's tough to make predictions, especially about the future. So and then an analogy would be to the ice hockey great Wayne Gretzky, who was always where the puck would be. And people asked him, "How are you so lucky?" He says, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it's been." That's what successful entrepreneurs do. They time their launch for where the market is going to be, not where it's been when they start the process. Wayne says it another way: good players skate to the puck, great players skate to where the puck's going to be. Replace the word players with entrepreneurs. So that's what entrepreneurs do. They go to where the market will be. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, though, so don't miss the opportunities. As Yogi says, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. So Ray Kurzweil, a futurist, is Google's director of engineering. You got to be pretty smart to do that. Google's known for hiring bright 20-somethings and 30-somethings. Ray was in his late 60s when he was hired because he's the best. Bill Gates says that he's the best person he knows at predicting the future. His ideas will be transforming our lives in ways we can't yet imagine. And Ray encapsulates his ideas of rapid change in 3 letters, G, N, R, and no, that's not the rock group Guns N' Roses. It's genetics, nanotechnology, and robotics. So to package that very briefly, through genetics, we can reprogram our biology to achieve the virtual elimination of disease. With nanotechnology, we can redesign and rebuild our bodies and our brains and the world in which we interact. And with robotics, we'll be building human-level capabilities, machines redesigned to far exceed our human capabilities. An easier way to remember this may be with the acronym GRAIN, which throws artificial intelligence in there to give it some vowel support. Genetics, robotics, AI, nanotech. So the first impact of this is already happening in entrepreneurship. The innovation in grain technologies and investment in grain businesses is apparent if you look at the stock market today, what new companies are starting. The second impact is a little, we can be uneasy about that because that will hugely impact economics. We'll have great wealth produced, but at what cost? Some estimates are that up to 40% of current jobs, and I think that's in the US, will be automated within 15 years. But the developing world is where the most risk happens because more of those jobs are susceptible to automation. Up to 90% of jobs in Ethiopia. Close to 3/4 of the current jobs in China are at risk. 3/4 of the Chinese population unemployed is a scary thought. But will new jobs be created for every job that's lost? Nobody knows. Another idea is universal basic income. Alaskan residents have been used to that since 1982. Instead of paying state income tax, the state pays every Alaskan citizen kind of a bonus because of the giant wealth created by its oil reserves. The countries in color in this map show where experiments in UBI have happened, are happening, are succeeding, are planned to happen. But we know that the third impact will be massive social upheaval. Will it be peaceful? Will it be violent? Will the current economic divide increase or shrink? The economic divide within the U.S. between the wealthiest and the poorest is greater than any country in the world. Maybe there'll be more leisure and more travel, more joy. Maybe there'll be more trouble. Without the identity that you get from a job, there could be more suicide. We do know that there will be opportunity for those willing to take it, because periods of rapid change are the times not only of highest risk, but also of highest gains from investment and innovation. This is a priceless opportunity. So another way to look at that is, well, let's use the example of self-driving cars. And the example will use Rogers' graph of the diffusion of innovation, that normal curve at the bottom that we've seen before. Superimposed on that is the red graph of Gartner's hype cycle. So what does that mean? You read in the news self-driving cars. You see them on roads in newscasts, and you think, whoa, they're coming soon. That leads to the peak of inflated expectations. Maybe I'll get one next year. Maybe my next car, I can sleep when I commute. And then years go by, and you don't see them. And you say, well, come on, they're not here yet. What a pile of baloney. They'll never be here. But then you realize, whoa, my neighbor's got self-driving cars, and then I got mine today, the slope of enlightenment. So that is a particularly human way of looking at change. We overestimate short-term change and are disappointed, but we totally underestimate the massive change, massive upheaval over the long term. Self-driving cars, great example. I'll close with two ongoing impact areas that will be massive. It will change your lives. One is health, longer lifespan. It will continue what we've seen in the past roughly century of roughly doubling lifespans from birth. The industry that serves the aging population will massively expand. We'll have healthier lives, not just more years in being in pain and weakness. So investment in exercise and nutrition will pay off. Ways of monitoring health, technology that's wearable and embedded, will thrive. There'll be genetic treatments, genetic enhancements. This is not a statement in favor of those. It will just simply be huge. With personalized drugs, nanobots to help you from the inside. And in education, our schools are well overdue for disruptive innovation, and it will happen big time. When we don't know how, we don't know, it will happen. Included in that will be massive curricular change, focusing more on the future than in preparation for non-existent jobs. There'll be longer lifetimes of learning, more opportunity, more leisure to do so. So there'll be an expansion in entrepreneurships regarding tutoring and course delivery. Education will learn from brain science, from cognitive psychology. We'll see brain-compatible education where learning's fun, not a chore. And with technological enhancement, we'll see continued improvement in the brain and in learning. So this is an ongoing adventure, learning to thrive in a world of abundance and exponential change. Closing with Yogi, because the future ain't what it used to be.